Wait, so Edwin just went public with a new girlfriend while Teddy battling stage 4 cancer? Girl, buckle up because this story has more twists than a Real Housewives reunion. If you've been following the Teddy Mellencamp and Edwin Arroyave divorce saga, you know it's been anything but typical. We're talking brain surgeries, immunotherapy appointments, and the ex-husband showing up like the world's most confusing knight in shining armor. But just when we thought this couldn't get any messier, Edwin just dropped a bombshell that has Bravo fans absolutely spiraling. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're gonna have thoughts. Let's rewind for a second because context is everything. Teddy filed for divorce from Edwin back in November 2024, ending their 13-year marriage. Now, here's where it gets interesting. They share 3 kids together, and initially, it seemed like your standard irreconcilable differences Hollywood split. Nothing unusual, right? Wrong. About 5 months after their separation, Teddy got diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma, and not just any melanoma. We're talking multiple tumors on her brain and lungs, the kind of diagnosis that changes everything overnight. But here's what nobody expected. Instead of completely separating, Edwin stayed. He's been helping with the kids, driving her to Barry's boot camp, taking her to immunotherapy appointments. It was giving major, maybe they'll get back together energy. Fans were convinced this was heading toward a reconciliation story. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. So here's where the tea gets piping hot. On Monday, October 27th, Edwin posted an Instagram story that immediately set the Bravo universe on fire. It was a photo of him with a woman named Elsa, captioned simply, "About last night." They were smiling by the water, looking happy and relaxed. Then he posted another picture of them in matching white outfits. And just like that, the internet exploded. Now this wasn't completely out of nowhere. Edwin had already hinted on his podcast, The Eds, that he was dating someone and that it was pretty serious. But there's a massive difference between mentioning you're dating and literally posting couple photos on Instagram. The timing, that's what's got everyone talking. Think about it. Edwin has been playing the supportive ex-husband role for months, helping Teddy through literally one of the darkest periods of her life. He's been there for doctor appointments, he's been there for the kids, he's been there when she needed him most. And now he's publicly debuting a new relationship. Look, I'm not saying he doesn't have the right to move on. They are getting divorced, but the optics? Girl, the optics are rough. So naturally, everyone wants to know, who is this mystery woman? According to her Instagram, Elsa loves travel, but beyond that, details are pretty scarce. Here's what makes this even more interesting though. Teddy actually follows Elsa on Instagram. Let that sink in for a second. Your ex-husband's new girlfriend is someone you follow on social media. Is this a friend of a friend situation? Someone from their social circle? We don't know yet, but you know the Real Housewives investigators are on the case. The photos Edwin posted appeared to be from a wedding they attended together, so he's comfortable enough to bring her to public events, introduce her to friends and family. This isn't casual, this is serious. Now let's talk about Teddy for a second, because her side of this story is equally fascinating. Here's the thing, Teddy hasn't been sitting at home pining. She's openly admitted to going on probably 8 dates since the separation. She even briefly dated a producer named Richie Rhea, though they split after a few months. Teddy explained that timing and her focus on health played a big part in the breakup, which honestly, completely understandable. When you're dealing with stage 4 cancer, brain surgeries, and immunotherapy, dating probably isn't your top priority. And here's where it gets complicated. Edwin has been incredibly supportive during her cancer battle, helping wherever he can. Teddy has even publicly thanked him for being there. She's called him kind. She's acknowledged how much easier he's made everything. But supporting your ex through a health crisis while simultaneously starting a new serious relationship, that's a balancing act I cannot even imagine. Let's zoom out for a second because this situation raises some really interesting questions about modern divorce. What does it look like when 2 people are legally separating but still living parallel lives because of kids and circumstances? Edwin has been there through Teddy's cancer battle while they're actively getting divorced. That's not your typical divorce story. And here's something else to consider. Teddy recently shared that her latest scans showed no detectable cancer, though she'll continue immunotherapy. That's incredible news, but it also means this very specific chapter where Edwin needed to step up for health reasons might be coming to an end. Maybe that's why he feels comfortable going public with Elsa now. Maybe he's been waiting for Teddy to be in a more stable place health-wise, or maybe the timing is just coincidental. We can't know what goes on behind closed doors, but from the outside looking in, this transition from supportive almost ex-husband to publicly dating someone new happened pretty quickly. Look, here's the reality check we all need. Edwin and Teddy are getting divorced. That's a fact. They both have every right to move on and find happiness with other people. There's no rule that says you have to wait a certain amount of time before dating after a separation. But when you've been married for 13 years, when you share 3 kids, when you've been in the public eye through a reality TV show, and when one of you is going through a major health crisis, every move gets scrutinized. That's just how it is. Edwin himself said on his podcast, "It's been a crazy year for us. First came the separation. Then we found out about the cancer about 5 months after that. Her health comes first. And yet here we are. New girlfriend, public debut, moving forward." It's messy, it's complicated, it's very, very human. So where does this leave everyone? Well, Teddy seems to be moving forward too, focusing on her health and her dating life. The divorce is presumably still happening. They're still co-parenting their 3 kids. Life goes on, but you better believe this is going to be talked about in podcasts, in interviews, potentially in future Real Housewives content. This story has layers, and honestly, that's what makes it so fascinating. This isn't a simple story of a couple breaking up. It's a story about navigating divorce during impossible circumstances. It's about trying to do the right thing while also moving on with your life. It's about being human and messy and imperfect. At the end of the day, we're watching real people navigate one of the hardest things you can go through, the end of a marriage. Add in a serious health crisis, 3 kids, public scrutiny, and the pressure of having lived your life on reality TV, and you've got a situation with no easy answers. Edwin has every right to be happy. Teddy has every right to be happy. But the timing and the public nature of it all, that's what has everyone talking. Whatever happens next, you know we'll be watching. Because if there's one thing the Real Housewives universe has taught us, it's that the story is never really over until the reunion airs.